tweaked something. And second change now for Global. Mario Clarino on for Daryl Roberts. Meantime, Fazli.
Well, it's so frustrating if you're Fazli Mazlan right now to get a calf injury, whether it's a strain, whether it's a pull. Having a solid match, the last thing you want to continue that run. Last thing you want is actually a pull. Very sure if he's fit, he will finish his 90 minutes.
There is defensive cover in Adil Zafwan and, interestingly, Dominic Tan, who's a young player coming through the ranks. Cabrera. Fadli. That's the thing with Johor, they've got such big pockets that their playing resources seem so deep. They were able to make 11 changes for the match in Myanmar on match day 2 from the team that played on match day 1. Here's Guerra. Now then, first involvement for Clarino. This is Bahaduran. Maybe the wetness on the surface is just getting the ball to be a little bit sticky. Quite a few times we've seen a player just not be able to get it out from under his feet. Barboso. Fadli made one strong challenge. This has come out to Minagishi. Minagishi! Across the face of goal. And Sasaki, well, how far is he away from this? This is the perfect angle to see.
Well, he's really smashed it across that 6-yard box. It's quite far, but then you can see the idea. Oh, bad cross, but you need someone at the end of it.
Safik. Just too much on it. It was a great idea. Good vision. He's been a very consistent performer for Johor over the last 3 years, Shafiq Rahim. Very consistent performer throughout his career, but particularly since the move down south to the Southern Tigers. Ferreira. Welcome to the game as Aguinaldo does put himself about in a good way. That's not so good for Brian Ferreira.
But Hardy did really well again, anticipating the pass and attacking the space and releasing that ball to Brian Ferreira in a tight area.
These teams meet again on match day 4 in the Philippines on the 5th of April, which we'll have here on Fox Sports. Ferreira. Fazli recovered from that little calf problem. Brian Ferreira was looking for Shafiq, wasn't too far away from him. Dato looking to get on with things quickly. Guerra. Azrif. Brazilian Wesley is an immovable object for Azrif Najul Haq.
Well, it was just taking the opportunity to try and get anything out of Azriv at that point. The fact that he's already won that battle, frustrations.
Gishi steals 5 metres and then allows Matty Hartman to steal another 5.
I think at times you just got to admire Marcos Antonio as a top professional. You rarely see him going at referees, you rarely see him making a lot of noise, and when he does, it's a valid argument. What he's saying at that point is the opponent is coming with his stats really high and the ball has touched him as well, so just go about doing his job.
Ferreira, bit of space for Ferreira, looks for his compatriot Cabrera. Safik, Amrul Hadi has one who's playing wide. Azrif was the target. And Johor picking up so many second balls.
It's largely coming to Amirul Hadi. His positioning today has been magnificent. Most times the ball has been brought out from global. You'll find Amirul Hadi just being with the player, receiving that ball, getting his team's possession again.
Ferreira battling ferociously and retaining possession. It's not for lack of effort. Brian Ferreira, clever reverse pass from Safik. Possession still 2/3 in favour of Johor. 12 shots to 5 as Guerrera looks to Azrif.
Very poor decision making from Azrif. He's got 3 players in the box, all he needed to do. You could see frustrations there from Guerrera. He's made that little run just ahead of him. All he needs to do is straight it in front. Guerrera could have cut it back. He's got 3-4 players. Still have a lot of fine-tuning to be done in the way they go about in their football. Of course, when you're 2-0 up, you just kind of regroup and go for another attack. But difficult situations at times when you try to break down an opponent, you need better decision making in tight areas.
Guerrera trying to play in Hazwan, who is indeed playing from the left hand side as you like him. Safik, Ferreira, Hazwan, Ian Aguinaldo. May as well swap shirts now. Being that close together all game.
Well, again, Azwan Bakri, we applaud him for how he makes that space down the left-hand side. He's always on his stronger foot. Now, the fact that Brian Ferreira is on the pitch, maybe perhaps you can see Azwan Bakri playing that normal game that we've seen. It's kind of smart how he just sees Brian Ferreira perhaps be attracting the centre-backs, and Azwan Bakri always knows where to find space.
Free header for Brian Ferreira, or was it Guerrera? It is Guerrera.
Well, shocking marking firstly. I mean, I want to go to the positive, but from the start he's not been marked. He's been a free man. Guerrera's knocked it down. I'm gonna say it's a good save from Dato. Got down really quick.
Corner whipped into the near post. That will be a goal kick. Come off Hazwan Bakri. He's made 3 very decent saves as Patrick Dato. Amrul Hadi has one. And the pass was too far ahead of Haswan anyway. Now Hadi's got to chase back to his defensive position as Mulders spreads the ball wide. Minagishi, he's got Clario ahead of him, and here is Clario. Not seen much of the ball, Clarino, since he came on. Big call from the coach to take off both Agustien and Darryl Roberts. Is it a case of giving the game up and is looking for just something different? The likes of Clarino, give him a chance up front, see what he can do.
No, Augustine's case, you don't replace a player after 33 minutes. That's purely him not happy with Augustine's performance. Brought in a very good player in Bahaduran, you got to say. That's a substitution, a bit positive for me. Bahaduran makes more runs, is a bit more mobile. A long time servant of the club as well.
Clarino is onside. And through on goal, Clarino. Poured away, still not completely clear. Here's Bahaduran. Well defended. Fazli not diving in. And eventually a corner. But that was a clear chance for Global. 20 minutes still to play. A goal now would really upset the apple cart for Johor.
So Clarino did very well, firstly because he pushes the ball, sees that space, creates that space, knew exactly what he wanted to do on his right. I thought Izam Tarmizi was smart as well to cover the space. Came really far out of his line to just try and get that touch, because with his height at times, if he stays a bit too back, it'll look too easy for the strikers to just place it behind him.
Azrif has one. Shafiq and Guerra. Fazli, Cabrera, on to Brian Ferreira. Wants the foul, doesn't get it. Paul Mulders with a firm challenge. Here's Bahaduran. Minagishi to his left. Here is Minagishi. Suzuki's made a great run. Minagishi! Plenty of power. Two goals in 4 first half minutes. Johor, at this stage, what looks to be a comfortable 2-goal lead. Ferreira. Trying to get as many touches of the ball as he can, Brian Ferreira. Guerra. Fazli. Cabrera. Guerra. Too far ahead of Safiq. Marcus Antonio penalised. Hazwan Bakri's night is done. And the pacey Esh Chanturu will come on and replace him. Hazwan had a good game for you?
Well, off the ball, great movement, works really hard, commitment was high. Perhaps only lacking the sharpness. used to seeing him in the same position, bearing those chances. He will get there eventually. He's a top professional as well. But Chandru actually had a very good game. Started in the last match as well. Gopinathan on the score sheet. It's the last time we saw him play as well. Chandru has always been coming off the bench, pacey, to provide a different kind of trouble to that global defence.
In the meantime, Minagishi, he's got himself in a couple of decent positions, Hikaru Minagishi. But that's not a great finish. Never going to trouble Izam Tarmizi. Benjamin Moura complaining that the substitute was barely on the field when the play restarted, and that enabled Minagishi to get a little bit of space. Guerra did well, was looking for Cabrera. And Aguinaldo tugs back on Shafiq. And Aguinaldo feeling a little bit hard done by. Between now and the next meeting between these teams, Global don't have another competitive match. Johor have got the little matter of the first leg of a FA Cup quarter-final against big rivals Pahang. Whistle goes, the flag is up for offside. Marcus Antonio was looking forward to lurching into the opponent's half for a rare break. Chantoru's pace snuffed out by Wesley. Hartman. Good strength from Sasaki, and then inaccurate with the pass to Minagishi. You can sense a lack of match practice, a lack of game time from Global.
Well, clearly the league, the domestic league, only starts next month, so they will have a lot of time to prepare for the AFC Cup, and sometimes that doesn't serve very well.
Chantoru, Ferreira. Minagishi keeps it alive, and Matty Hartman. He's got a lovely left foot. Here comes Marcus Antonio on his rare break into the opposition half. Ferreira. A little bit of desperation in that effort from Brian Ferreira.
Turns really well. Awareness is great. Sees the pressure from Aldous. That's why I thought he did really well. And then, that's why I think he needs to get more out of Cabrera. Guerra was running on his both of his flanks.
This time Ferreira's offside. He's been thrust into the limelight, Benjamin Moura. His team beginning to respond as Fadley just gets enough on that. Sasaki penalised. Chantoru, pace merchant, snuffed out by Dennis Villanueva. 10 minutes to play. Beating Cabrera in the air. Clarino. Minagishi. At a decent ball into Clarino. There's the support. 2 in the box, but straight into the gloves of Isam Tarmizi. But he's added a certain zest going forward. Oh, Chanturu, can he do the same for Johor?
Well, a bit too predictable from Chandru. Perhaps going to take it for a run, put it down for a race, go down to the byline. He's lacking in support. Only Guerra and Ferreira on that attack.
Aguinaldo!
Quite a few tired legs out there. Johor, Aguinaldo just having a lot of space. Use that shot.
Again, Ashraf keen to attack. Chanturu straight into the body of Hartman. Ashraf. Paul Mulder's involved in another little moment off the ball. Sasaki. Clarino. Still pressing forward, looking for any kind of a break, Global. And they might have it. Isam's made an excellent save to deny Shu Sasaki.
Well, clearly, that have come on. You find Chandru and Ashraf, who's the right back. There you go. You find Amirul Hadi in the centre back position, Marcos Antonio in the right back position. You gotta say, clever little flick from Aguinaldo. And then that was a good palm away, because that could have ended up anywhere.
Aguinaldo. Fabulous. Isam does well to punch clear. They've had their moments of Global. This hasn't been all plain sailing for Johor despite territorial dominance. Corner number 6 for Global FC. And again, look how they're packing that 6-yard box. Choosing this moment to make another change. Paulo Salenga coming on for the hard-working Paul Mulders. Marcos Antonio's header clear. Chanturu. Marcos Antonio leading the charge, but Sasaki is tripped by the Brazilian.
See, Global still really working hard whenever they get a corner, trying to make sure Isam Tarmizi does not move from his line. But Johor have protected their goalkeeper much better than they did last season, I would say, in comparison.
Amrul Hadi's clearance. Now then, Shafiq Rahim saw Dato was off his line. I'm assuming that's what he saw. Nothing would surprise me with him. Here's Shafiq again. Aguinaldo's clearance. Shafiq looking for Chanturu, third time. Finds Chanturu. 3 blue shirts to aim for Chanturu. Neither Ferreira nor Cabrera attacked the 6-yard box. And Ferreira can't keep the ball alive.
Well, that's the third time. And then you don't give Shafiq 3 times. Just don't understand how Ferreira has not got there earlier than Cabrera. Cabrera has come really from midfield, I would say. Brian Ferreira not attacking that far post when there's so much of space. That's what you need for modern day strikers, gamble on space. You get there before anticipating the ball comes, it looks really good. If it does not come, your job is done, you get there. He's not attacked that space.
Addy on the corner to Gabriel Guerra. Here is Ferreira. Ryan Ferreira past Wesley, and Ferreira makes it 3, makes it safe.
Well, that's the nail in the coffin. If Global had any hopes at all. Brian Ferreira, good first touch. Then easily goes past Wesley, far too easy. Just a little feint down the left, and then makes that space down the right hand side. Here you go. And Dato caught in no man's land for me, because doesn't make himself really big. Kind of open up the space down the left hand side. Lost his bearings as well, I would say, a little bit. But it's a good finish from Brian Ferreira.
Maybe the confidence booster he needs. Certainly his teammates appreciate the effort. Guerra and Safik quick to get over to applaud Brian Ferreira's finish. And for Johor, a 3-0 win over Bangkok on match day 1. A decent draw away from home, having played with 10 men for 80 minutes against Magway. Lost today against Bangkok, incidentally. Now a 3-goal lead as Cabrera is going to get in a bit of trouble. Amrul Hadi is getting in trouble. Yellow card for Amrul Hadi. Oh, quite rightly too. Ferreira, Guerra, Torino defending. Is 3-0 a fair reflection of the game, Stam?
Well, could have been more if Azwan Bakri's taken his chances. Been really disappointed with Global FC in terms of how they've done things with the ball. Off the ball, yes, you can say they've come out with a plan to really go hard on Johor. Physically just impose themselves on the match, but I think they've concentrated too much on that. The fact they've forgotten what to do with the ball, and Johor's just gone about doing what's more important in a football match, which is to try and score goals, create chances, move the ball quicker.
And a final change. Azmi Faiz is coming on. There's the penalty. That's the really contentious decision, but Shafiq Rahim showing no sympathy, bearing it for his second AFC Cup goal. He likes this competition. 8 in the tournament last season, 2 already this year. And Azmi Faiz to come on just for a couple of minutes. Job done, Shafiq Rahim. Philippines next for Shafiq. Well, no, Pahang first, of course. Pahang, and then off to the Philippines to take on Global. Villanova. Clearance from Amrul Hadi. Marino. Hadaran, Nazmi's first touch. Marcus Antonio so dominant. Here's Guerra. Chantoru on the burst. Hartman sticks with him. Guerra. Cynical foul. Guerra's flailing hand as well.
I'm not really sure what Matthew Hartman is on about. That's a clear foul. He's taken out Guerra. Clever for Guerra to put his body in the way.
Maybe it was the high elbow. Yeah, you can see that Hartman is immediately reacted to an elbow that's in the act of running. Signed for the Johor clubs from PKNS, where he was a high scorer in a run to the FA Cup. Now with JDT. Flicked in, Marcus Antonio! He'll enjoy that one.
Quality header from a quality player. Gets ahead of that defender. Guerra just puts it in a very nice area ahead of Wesley Santos. And squeeze it across Dato. Top class finish. Top professional Marcos Antonio. We're just alluding to that. Been a mainstay, been a main player for Johor. His third season. And yes, Des, you really enjoy that.
It's a little bit harsh on Global. Puts a real gloss on the evening's work for Johor Darul Taksim. The 2015 Cup winners have taken a firm grip of this group. Top of the power with 7 points from 3 games. Global will be second on 6. And we'll look on the return in the Philippines on April the 5th as a game they dare not lose. Ferreira scored the 3rd, Marcus Antonio the 4th, after Shafiq Rahim and Mahali Jazuli had scored in the first half.
Well, I gotta say, I've been really impressed with Cabrera. Not only for the fact that he's such an individual player. You look at him off the ball, he works really hard. He's really dropped really deep to try and double up on Fazli Mazlan. Rarely you see a player who's so individual drops that deep, so he's a team player as much as he is going forward. Good signing from Johor.
Carino. Well, he had a chance at 2-0 that might have made a difference. Suzaki had a chance at 2-0. Superbly turned over by Isam Tarmizi. That might have made a difference. In the end, it hasn't. Minerva. Fadley has been secure. Aguinaldo. Nazmi was trying to release Chantoru, but Johor have done what was necessary. 2 goals in quick succession around about the half-hour mark gave them a firm stranglehold of the game. 2 late goals from Ferreira and Marcus Antonio, a collector's item, have given this the loss of a 4-0 victory stamp.
Well, I thought it was professional.
Jazuli buka tirai jaringan minit ke-30 diikuti Shafiq Rahim pada minit ke-34 dan kemudiannya 2 lagi jaringan Brian Ferreira 87 dan juga Marcos Antonio pada minit ke-93 menjadikan keputusan utama dilakin Johor Darul Takzim 4.
Between Philippines and Malaysia, but for now Johor are top of the group. They have beaten Global, the Filipino champions, by 4 goals to 0.
Big night of AFC Cup and AFC Champions League football here on the Fox Sports Network. When we come back, we'll wrap up the games for you and show you goal highlights from these significant contests, not least of which Johor Darul Takzim's 4-0 win over Global FC in the AFC Cup. We're coming back.